Hello, everybody. Thank you, Laura. Thanks for the kind introduction. My purpose here today is just to provide some context for the interesting part, which is what Mark will present next. Thanks to our friends at ERA and to Arathon for the work they've done here. So this is the Castlemaine site in central Victoria. It's one of the largest manufacturing sites in the state. We have about 1,200 direct employees making our range of ham, bacon, salami and continental products. You can see these products take a significant amount of heat to process. Steam is our input for heat, and as such, there's a significant decarbonisation opportunity associated with moving away from natural gas and electrification. To that theme, perhaps those of you with good enough eyesight will be able to see in the top right corner our new 3.5 megawatt solar array, which is a ground-mounted system, which we are just getting used to. It's recently been commissioned, and we've done some upgrades with our microgrid control system as well. So exciting times here. We're moving ahead and seeing some positive results. A bit about the site. 2/3 of our primary energy, 3/4 of our primary energy, in fact, is supplied through natural gas, and the remainder through electricity. These are ENGIE's numbers. You can see there the electricity is a little bit over half of our emissions, which is consistent with Jono's slides and overview previously. Our ENGIE Scope 1 and 2 emissions were 40,000 tonnes for the 24-25 period. So hopefully that'll give you something to gauge the size of the site against and give you a feel about what we're trying to address here and the challenge we face. These are the energy systems that we have on our site. The theme being natural gas and substitution of it. I'll stick to the two. We have steam, description of that. It's about 17 megawatts of steam boiler capacity, thermal. That is about 66-70% of the natural gas demand on site. We are also grid constrained. So when we look at electricity on site and the opportunity to electrify, this might be a common theme for other people. We have a grid connection at 6 megawatts. Our typical demand peak might be around 9 megawatts. So to make up the gap, we run cogen. We've got 4 megawatts of natural gas cogen on site, and now we have solar, which is the interplay of those two is interesting. 34% of our natural gas demand, and declining now with the solar, was natural gas going into the cogens. Keep going. Okay, so the challenge for us in industrial heat. We feel we've got a 40% reduction target by 2030 from a 2018 baseline. We feel like we have a reasonable handle on that. We are counting in the Victorian grid emissions intensity reduction on that, so there is some risk around that. But what does it look like beyond 2030? And for a big site like this and developing capital plans, infrastructure planning, all these sorts of things, we've got to start looking on a relatively long lead time, and this is sort of the experience we've had with the solar anyway. So the gas, there's the split: 334,000 gigajoules of natural gas, and we have grid constraint and a cogeneration lifetime, which is in around the early 2030s. So we're going to have to do some infrastructure planning to see how we're going to negotiate moving forward, and what economically is the best way to move forward for us. Steam, as we've said, is the site's central thermal load. We have 4 gas-fired boilers for process heat in 2 different boiler house locations. We have limits on electrification opportunity with the current electrical supply. And we need a credible roadmap because of the climate-related financial disclosure aspects. So trying to pull all this together, build something credible to move forward with. Mentioned the peak demand. The cogeneration generators are half-life somewhere around $4 to $8 million would be reasonable, depending on the scope of heat recovery system replacement. And so we've got an opportunity to decide for the future, and we need to do that in an informed and positive way. So, final slide. This is not our first foray into this. We have been fortunate to receive an ARENA's support to do a feasibility study in 2025. This was more focused on waste heat and what we can do with we have a large refrigeration plant. We've got nearly 4 meg electrical of refrigeration plant, so there's a significant waste heat resource there. And we started looking at what we could do with heat pumps. Problem being that steam generating heat pumps are not at a TRL level we're comfortable with. Hot water generation would require, to use hot water in process would require significant change to our processes. So at the moment, that doesn't look really viable at our scale and in terms of cost. So we're now starting process to look at others, and this is where the work from Aratherm, co-funded by ERA, thanks ERA, has led us into the next stage, which I'll hand over to Mark to present.